All right, so Mike Cobb, former mayor, welcome.
Long evening. Honorable council members, there's some questions I'd like to ask you with respect to the bullet train, and I would hope that they'd be questions that you would answer clearly and effectively as this process moves forward. One of which is, my first question is, why was an endorsement given to this bullet train when we really had no concept of what its impacts would be and had done no discussion or studies of that? That really does trouble me a great deal. And with respect to Mr. Dearden's comments, he talked about the 65% vote. Do you think that would have been a 65% vote of people that understood the impacts on their communities? I would register that it would not be. My second question, how many homes will be taken by eminent domain? We haven't heard much talk about that. We heard that word slip in there briefly once. Well, how many homes will be lost to eminent domain as a result of needing to expand these tracts? And what about other facilities in town like the high school, the medical center, and a lot of others that you can think of, including the tree? And another question, get my notes clear here. Mr. Espinoza talked about some alternatives, and yet what I'm hearing from Mr. Dearden is that those alternatives really aren't open to us. So that's kind of interesting. I'd like to know whether those are really things that can be pursued or not. Will you folks join Menlo Park and the other cities in the legal briefing that's been filed? And a tough question, one more related question on values. You know, if you take out houses along Park Boulevard and some of the other streets out there, the houses across the street will also lose value. When are we going to find out this very real impact on the very real homes of the very real people that live in this town? And finally, some very difficult questions, I think, but I feel like need to be asked. As you evaluate your own performance on this, are you guilty of putting regional interests ahead of those of the people in Palo Alto that you represent? This bullet train is going to cut through this town, cut a swath through it that will change it forever and will probably hasten the already almost out of control urbanization of Palo Alto. So my final question is, what will this council be doing to stand up for the citizens of this community, the people and their homes, to make sure that this community can retain some of its qualities of life that we've come to cherish over the years? Thank you.
Thank you.